Thanks very much, Catherine. I'm glad to get the opportunity to speak on this. As has been previously said by some of my Sinn Féin colleagues, we want to see a planning system that meets social, economic and environmental needs of society. And I think public participation is key to this, but I think it's really important that it's meaningful participation. And I really say that as well, particularly on behalf of rural communities that I would say over the last number of years in particular feel even more and more isolated from decisions taken. And I know that people often feel very frustrated when you hear that there's going to be some sort of a consultation process, and they engage in that consultation process in good faith, and then it feels like absolutely nothing that you've said has been taken on board. And I think that that's why there's a lot of scepticism at sometimes when we see some of these decisions being made and people are told there's local consultation, and they often feel that that's not really adequate, or that what they've been saying hasn't been taken on board. So I think if we are going to say that we want public participation, I know that's very much what we would like to see happening in Sinn Féin. It's really important that we actually do listen to people, and that we do take on board what people's views are, and in particular communities, and like each and every area is obviously going to be different as well. So it's important, I think, that the views of rural areas are seen in that context. And another point I want to touch on is in relation to the delays, and I know some speakers have spoken about this already, and obviously people are entitled to objections and everything else like that, but initially there's huge delays often in applications, and again we see that rurally as well, where I don't know, is it a staffing issue or what exactly the difficulty or the issue is, but there can be huge delays in actually getting a decision communicated in the first place. And then if that does have to go to An Bord Pleanála, obviously that slows down the whole process again. And in lots of cases, they're genuine situations. So you have to have that process there, and it's important that process there. But I do think it needs to move more efficiently and more swiftly. I think it was said that there was around 140 recommended changes that came out of their committee report on this. And I'm not on the Housing Committee, but I do chair a committee, and I know the level of work and scrutiny that goes into pre-leg, and particularly committee reports and all of the various meetings and everything it takes with a committee. And when you do come up with a consensus of a certain amount of recommendations, I think it's really important that they are looked at. And I know that there's obviously other stages of this bill to go through as well, so I would be hopeful that those kind of recommendations will be taken on board, because it is at that pre-leg stage that the committee really does delve into something, and I think that those reports should be looked at in a lot more detail. And my time is up, so I'll leave it at that.
Deputy, and we move now